Hello and welcome to News Now on TV360. I am Thelma Okoro. The Nigerian army says its troops have cleared out all Boko Haram camps in the northeast part of the country. Speaking to newsmen on Monday, Acting Director Army Public Relations Colonel Sani Usman assured Nigerians that the military was winning the war against terrorism. He said there was no more terrorists clustered in a particular place in the area. He noted that the opening of roads which link Nigeria, Chad and Cameroon was a significant sign that the war against terrorism was being won. The Akwa Ibom State Police Command has denied claims by the Niger Delta Avengers that it blew up a gas pipeline operated by the NNPC in Insit Ibom local government area of the state. The group announced it had attacked an NNPC pipeline in a statement posted on their website on Sunday. However, Murtala Mani, who is the state's commissioner of police, said the explosion was as a result of a technical fault. The Avengers have claimed responsibility for a series of attacks on Nigerian oil facilities in the last few months. The movement for the emancipation of the Niger Delta MEND has confirmed holding talks with the Nigerian government over attacks on oil and gas facilities in the restive Niger Delta region. MEND is a different group from the Niger Delta Avengers. In a statement posted, the group said it was holding preliminary talks with the Nigerian government through oil companies and law enforcement agencies. Attacks in the Niger Delta has pushed crude oil production in Nigeria to 30-year lows in recent weeks, although the NNPC last month said output was rising shortly due to repairs. The Nigerian government has restated its commitment to ensuring that all those displaced by the Boko Haram insurgents in the northeast region return home in the shortest time possible. Minister of State for Foreign Affairs Khadija Bukar Ibrahim has said this is the current priority of the Nigerian government. The minister was speaking on Sunday in Damaturu, the Yobe state capital, when she led the Egyptian ambassador to Nigeria, Ashraf Salama, to deliver aid to victims of the Boko Haram insurgency in the state. The Boko Haram insurgency has left more than 2 million people internally displaced. In the past few months, the military has succeeded in beating back the sect and significantly reducing the amount of suicide attacks on innocent civilians in the northeast. President Muhammadu Buhari met with former President Olusegun Obasanjo behind closed doors at the presidential villa in Abuja. This will be Obasanjo's fourth visit to Buhari since he assumed office on May 29, 2015. Details of the meeting, just like the previous ones, were however not disclosed to the Nigerian media. President Buhari had on August 21st named former President Obasanjo as his special envoy to mediate and help find a solution to the crisis brewing in Guinea-Bissau. A total of 209 Air Force officers have undergone basic airborne training from the Nigerian Air Force Regiment Training Center in Kaduna State. The Air Force says this will help assist in the fight against terrorism and other security challenges in the country. At the graduation ceremony of the officers, the Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar, said the aim of the training is to build an efficient force capable of responding to any security challenge anywhere in Nigeria. He also expressed satisfaction with the performance of the officers. The Lagos state government has issued a warning to violators of traffic rules in the state. This was contained in a statement jointly signed by the State Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice Adeniji Kazim and Commissioner for Information and Strategy Steve Ayorinde on Monday. According to the statement, it was the duty of traffic law enforcement officers to identify violators of traffic laws and have them booked and tried according to their offences without having to clamp down their tires or tow their vehicles. Nigeria's President Muhammadu Buhari has revealed he was kicked out of office on August 27, 1985 by then Chief of Army Staff Major General Ibrahim Babangida due to his fight against corruption. Buhari was speaking during an exclusive interview with the Interview magazine. According to him, the then head of military intelligence, Aliyu Guzo, was allegedly involved in some sharp practices and he had recommended his sack from the military leadership. He said the reason he insisted on Guzo's removal was because he did not want his anti-corruption war to appear one-sided. Buhari was the military head of state for Nigeria for 18 months. The Nigerian government has repeated its commitment to work towards the World Health Organization's certification as a polio-free country in 2017. President Buhari said this in a statement as the country marked the second anniversary of the interruption of poliovirus transmission in the country. He said the government will strive to attain the polio-free status by intensifying routine immunization and the revitalization of primary health care system in the country. WHO regulation stipulates that a country must have no new cases of poliovirus in 3 years before being certified polio-free. The police in Ogun State have arrested a 40-year-old man identified as Francis Taiwo for chaining his son, Korede, for over a month in a church in the state. Taiwo, who was ordained as a pastor of the church in 2012, was arrested a day after his son was rescued by a team of security operatives in the state. Taiwo has not denied chaining his son. He said the act was to rid the boy of his stealing spirit. The Islamic movement in Nigeria has expressed deep concern about the health of their leader, Ibrahim El-Zakzaky, currently in Department of State Services custody. A statement from the body warned it was in the interest of the Nigerian state to release him unconditionally to enable him to attend to his health. El-Zakzaky was arrested by the DSS after the deadly clash between the Shiite group, which he heads, and the Nigerian army in Zaria last year. The Shiite leader is being charged with criminal conspiracy, inciting public disturbances, among others. Leaders of the People's Democratic Party in southwest Nigeria have gathered in Lagos State to find a lasting solution to the lingering crisis rocking the party in 3 states, that is Osun, Oyo and Lagos State. Governor of Ondo State Olusegun Mimiko and Ekiti State's Governor Ayodele Fayose said the party is getting ready to reclaim the country ahead of its national convention slated for August 26th in Port Harcourt.
Leaders of the People's Democratic Party in Southwest Friday converged on Lagos to find a lasting solution to the protracted crisis in 3 states, Osun, Oyo, and Lagos. Governor Olusegun Mimiko of Ondo State and his counterpart from Ekiti, Ayo Fayose, said the party is re-strategizing ahead of the national convention slated for August 17 in Port Harcourt.
The meeting is essentially to harmonize position in the Southwest, to get all players within PDP in Southwest to be on the same page, areas where there are conflicts to resolve conflicts, and I can tell you that we have made considerable progress.
The meeting is to reconcile and put together our house as a party, state by state, and we were able to meet with 3 states. We were able to meet with Osun, Lagos and Oyo, and we have useful deliberations. We believe there are interested parties and groups, but what we want is a united party. So we've encouraged that they should all come together to have one list for the convention as delegates to the convention. And it must not come from a group. It must come from the 2 groups. And where they don't have groups, it must come, all leaders must sit together to come up with a list.
Governor Ayo Fayose said the PDP is not leaving anything to chance ahead of the 2019 general election as the party prepares to wrestle power from the All Progressive Congress.
We met in Abuja to reconcile, to make sure that we go to this convention as a family. And our findings clearly shows the cases of groupings and sharp divide in 3 states. So that we have addressed this evening. And the moment they can sit together, come up with a list of delegates, shows that they'll be ready to work together. We have to learn from the past. We have to allow this system to emerge and produce a leader for the party. The presidential flag bearer for 2019 has been zoned to the north. And it's not going to be limited to a zone. It's zoned to the north. The north is meant to produce a flag bearer. And the south is meant to produce a national chairman. And in my opinion and in my belief, we should leave it for the south to produce, not necessarily a zone.
The peace rally was attended by party leaders from Osun, Oyo, and Lagos states. Tunji Olanipekun, TV360, Lagos.
We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll look at business and sports stories. Don't go away.
Corruption not in my country.
How work?
Oh, correct, Oga.
What is it that you are doing?
Oga, they come out the part now. Make we go sell for.
Oga, na correct kuzabi this so. Oga Titus and him boys them. They do am. They will come out the original parts, sell them, make plenty kusa.
No wonder our customers bring the generator back to our workshop because they're bad. And not because of stuff.
Now because they overuse the generator. Plus say NEPA no they give them electricity.
Before I open my eye, Makachuku look at my talk in the heaven. Replace this original generator parts back inside this generator of my customer. In short, before we do am, front jump. One, front jump. 1, 2, 1. Stealing of generator parts or changing of original parts to a fake one. That is the corruption. Not in my country.
Corruption not in my country.
Welcome back to business. Nigeria's Naira slipped 2.5% to a new closing low of $3.10 per dollar on Monday. The currency had opened at a record low of 302 on Monday and traded a total of just $8.64 million by the close of trading. This is far less than $100.54 million on Friday when the CBN spurred the market by selling some of its dollars. The central bank has hoped that scrapping the dollar peg and letting the currency fall by a third would help attract investment and erase the need for a black market in Nigeria, where the Naira trades are another 17% weaker against the dollar. The Lagos state government says it is ready to massively reduce dependence on federal allocation and increase the internally generated revenue to a target of 30 billion naira monthly in 2017 and 50 billion naira monthly in 2018. The state also announced its readiness to create a yearly budget size of 1 trillion naira by 2018. In a statement issued at the end of a 4-day retreat for members of the State Executive Council, body of permanent secretaries and heads of government agencies and parastatals, the government said it hoped it had begun adopting appropriate measures to achieve its target. Nigeria's budget minister Udoma has revealed that the country will be assuming an oil price of $42.5 per barrel and output of 2.2 million barrels per day in 2017. He was speaking while outlining the country's 3-year fiscal plan. Udoma said the blueprint expects both production and prices to rise each year up to 2019, and that the Naira currency will recover and settle at $2.90 per dollar. He said a significant increase in non-oil revenue receipts was projected for 2017 to 2019 as the Nigerian economy gradually recovered and tax collection improved. Oil prices held near 2-month lows on Monday amid worries that the global crude and refined product glut would weigh on markets for some time to come. International Brent crude oil futures were trading at $45.58 per barrel, while U.S. crude was at $44.11 per barrel. Both benchmarks were close to 2-month lows reached last week. Traders said that ongoing oversupply and growing economic headwinds were weighing on oil prices. The Syrian man who blew himself up in Ansbach, Germany on Sunday made a video pledging allegiance to ISIS. Bavaria's Interior Minister Joachim Herrmann says 2 phones, multiple SIM cards and a laptop were found with the body of the 27-year-old asylum seeker. 15 people were injured while 4 of them were seriously when the man's explosive device went off close to a music festival in the small town which is near Nuremberg. ISIS had claimed it was behind the attack and the Syrian attacker was an ISIS soldier. 2 people have been killed and up to 16 more injured after a shooting at a nightclub in the Florida city of Fort Myers. Officers are now at the nightclub, which was reportedly hosting a party for teenagers. 3 people have been arrested in connection with the shooting. Meanwhile, nobody has claimed responsibility for the attack. The police have also confirmed that the two people killed are 18-year-old Stefan Stroder, who is a leading local high school basketball player, and 14-year-old Sean Achilles. Moving on to sports stories now, FIFA President Gianni Infantino has met with Nigerian President Muhammadu Buhari and Senate leader Bukola Saraki as part of his 2-day working visit to the country. Infantino, who is in Nigeria alongside FIFA's General Secretary Fatma Samura is also scheduled to meet Lagos State Governor Akinwumi Ambode on Tuesday. He was accompanied on his visit to the two leaders by the Sports Minister Solomon Dalong, NFF President Amaju Pinnick, and 17 African Football Association President. Infantino is FIFA's 9th president. He replaced Sepp Blatter in February 2016. Former Super Eagles coach Sunday Olise has again hit out at NFF President Amaju Pinnick. In a post on his blog on Sunday, Olise said a kidnap attempt on his family was because of the lies Pinnick had told the media about the payment of his salary. He said the claims by Pinnick that he was paid his salaries in advance were lies that led to an attempted kidnap on his family in October 2015. Olise resigned as Super Eagles coach in February 2015, citing unpaid wages as part of the reasons for his resignation. Swimming governing body FINA has ruled that 7 Russian swimmers are banned from competing at the Rio 2016 Olympic Games due to doping violations. The news comes as a huge blow to the country, which just narrowly avoided a complete Olympic ban after the WADA report accused them of widespread state-sponsored doping. The International Olympics Committee opted against a complete ban on Russia, deciding to leave the decision to individual sporting bodies. The International Tennis Federation cleared Russian players to compete, but FINA says that they will ban the swimmers from competing in any of their games. FINA said the Russian Swimming Federation withdrew 4 athletes because they previously served doping bans, while 3 athletes were banned because they were mentioned in the new WADA report. That's it on News Now. We thank you very much for watching. I am Thelma Okoro.